Good evening, friends. It is a later evening or early morning edition of WrestleScope Live. It is number 137. Hello, happy Saturday. Some of you, it is Sunday now, I know. But thank you very much for tuning in. Good morning, Louie. Yeah, I just saw your message. The timing was perfect. And hello, Lucas. I'm on a little bit late tonight. It was a long day of work. Worked two jobs today, had some errands to run, and literally just got home like a half an hour ago. So going to be a short stream tonight. Have one bit of news to talk about, which could potentially be good news. Don't have a ton of details, but let's get into it. As always, please like the channel, subscribe to the channel, like the video, hit the notification bell. Wherever you may be watching, we're live again on YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitch, and of course, the TikTok. The TikTok. Yes, we are. So hang on a second. There we go. All right. So let's get into it. We'll get into the Louis training update in just a moment. And of course, we cannot forget, I actually owe you. I forgot about it last night because we got out of here so fast. And I think it was because Positive One was sitting behind me too. We have to do a pair of Iron Sheik tweets of the day to make up for it. So good evening to everybody checking in on TikTok. Thank you very much. So let's get into it. Bayley, her return is pretty much set. Well, at least according to PW Insider, she is going to be in Nashville for SummerSlam. So does that mean she will be involved in the show? Whoops, hold on. Whoop, there we go. Signs on. Does that mean she is going to be involved in the show? Don't know. But PW Insider is reporting that Bayley will be in Nashville for SummerSlam. She has been recovering and rehabbing from a torn ACL from last year, but she has been at the Performance Center in Orlando, training, getting back into ring shape, getting ready to go. So I think the perfect time to bring her back is SummerSlam. Now, the big question is, what is she going to do? Who's she going to be involved with? What's going to happen? Which show is she going to go to? Will she be on SmackDown? Will she be on Raw? Which show needs her more? It all kind of depends at this point. Bayley and Bianca would be a fantastic feud. Would be fantastic. Bayley going after Liv Morgan, I could see that happening as well. But you're also probably going to have a returning Charlotte Flair as well. I don't think they're both going to return on the same night. If Bayley comes back at SummerSlam, I can see Charlotte coming back maybe a few weeks later. They're not going to want to bring them both back at the same time. And I don't think they're both going to go to the same brand. I think SmackDown. Well, if Charlotte stays with SmackDown, Bayley going to Raw would be good. But again, we have to remember early September, we are going to get a draft again. So things are going to get mixed up. Things are going to get changed. And I think for the women's division, that would be very beneficial. That would be very beneficial for the women's division. I'm excited for Bayley to come back because, again, it's been almost a year since she's been gone. I mean, she's actually been ready to come back for over a month now. They just didn't have anything creative for her, which is a little disappointing. Vinny, I'll get to your comment in just a second here. We'll talk about that again in just a second. But who do you want to see Bayley feud with? Who do you want to see her get into a feud with? I'm trying to remember who she was in a storyline with when she got injured. I don't remember. I can't even remember who she was involved with. Oh, Lucas, my goodness, really? The only reason I would agree with Charlotte Flair coming back is with Sasha and Naomi gone, the women's division is lacking star power. I mean, you've got Bianca and Becky on Raw. You've got Ronda. You've got Ronda on SmackDown. That's about it. So they do need star power. My hope would be, though, when Charlotte comes back, do not immediately put her into the title picture. Do not, because we all know if she gets into the championship picture, that they're going to give her the belt right away. And it's not needed. SmackDown, Raw or SmackDown, they don't need Becky as champion, and they don't need Charlotte as champion. There's plenty of other women. That's why I'm happy that Liv Morgan is carrying that championship, though I don't understand why they had Kayla Braxton last night basically cut down Liv Morgan. Well, you did beat Natty, but you didn't do it as quickly as Ronda did. She's the new champion. Okay, are you really trying to play up? The only thing I can think of is they are trying to play up this underdog thing with her. And do you really see her getting a clean victory over Ronda Rousey at SummerSlam? I would certainly hope so, because anything beyond a clean win is going to hurt Liv Morgan. But will anybody really believe that Liv Morgan can get a clean victory over Ronda Rousey? I don't know. Vinny, I think you're right. There's too many heels for the women right now. You've got, on Raw, you've got Becky, Doudrop, Nikki ASH, Carmella. SmackDown, you've got Natty, Lacey Evans. Really, actually, if you think about it, there's not that many. And Shotzi. There's really not that many. But they haven't been booking the women well at all. I mean, yes, three of the four horsewomen have been off television for a while now. Favorite women's wrestler of all time? Wow. Alexa Bliss. Are you serious? Did they announce that, Blake? We get Carmella and Bianca again? Why? Because she got the cheap count out victory? So we get that again? Which means we get Corey Graves gushing, basically, having vocal sex on television with his wife. Ugh, jeez. That's the thing, okay. Since we're talking about this, are we going to get yet another one member of Street Profits versus one member of the Usos on Raw again for the 957th time? That seems to be the only way that they can build that feud, is one-on-one matches with these guys. WWE creative right now absolutely sucks. You know, the only thing that they're really doing good right now is Theory. On SmackDown, I think that was probably the best thing on SmackDown last night was, first of all, the interaction between Paul Heyman and Theory. Then the match between Madcap Moss and Theory was really good. And then immediately after that, the interaction between Sami Zayn and Theory. I mean, that was the best thing on the show last night. You know, as much as I think they made a mistake by giving him the Money in the Bank, that's about really the best creative they have going right now. Are you talking about Theory that they're shooting for lightning in a bottle? I mean, the guy is talented, 24 years old, and he dominated Evolve. Keep in mind when he made his first appearance in WWE, he was the Evolve champion at 22 years old. Give him the right storylines, and Austin Theory is the future of WWE. He really is. Yeah, Todd, I think it might be time for the Usos to lose. The best thing on SmackDown last night was Jeff Jarrett. I think the only reason that they are bringing in Jeff Jarrett is because it's in Nashville. And I forget who it was. Louis, I think it was you that said that last night. Because I haven't seen any other justification for why it's Jeff Jarrett. I really thought it was going to be Sami Zayn, but as soon as Adam Pearce came out, I knew it wasn't going to be Sami. I knew they were going to do something else, because if you have it be Sami, then obviously it goes in the favor of the Usos. Okay, you bring up an excellent point here, Louis. And a lot of this comes down to booking. Charlotte Flair has won and lost either the Raw or SmackDown Women's Championship 13 times in 7 years. That means twice a year she is holding a title. That means they're hot-shotting titles. And the fact that they have not built up many other women. You've got, you have the core: Bayley, Sasha, Becky, and Charlotte. Now you've got Bianca. Who else have they really built up? You had Alexa in there for a short period of time. You could throw Naomi in there. Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley should have had a longer run as Raw Women's Champion. You've had, think about just, all the quick title reigns that there's been, since 2015. Nia Jax, Natty, Nikki ASH, Carmella. I mean, there's so many. And yet you keep sticking the title on Charlotte because Vince McMahon thinks that's the best thing for business. Charlotte Flair as your top women's champion on either brand is not the best thing for business. The biggest heat she gets is the go away heat. She is basically the women's version of John Cena. Except more people are just flat out sick of Charlotte Flair. Take nothing away from her athletic ability. She is an amazing athlete. But to this day, her promos are absolutely god-awful. She learned absolutely nothing from her father. Like I said, athletically, she is fantastic. One of the best in the business. But when it comes to character and promo skills, she is awful. She has actually gotten worse over that 7 years than better. I think she was a better promo when she was in NXT. Her promos now are cringeworthy, to be perfectly honest. Vinny, yeah, I almost have to agree with you. I've heard this from a couple of other people, and I agree with this. Alexa Bliss, as talented as she is directionless right now. They have no idea creatively what they are doing with her. Ever since they stopped the whole Alexa Bliss at the psychiatrist thing, they have had zero idea what to do with her. They're just throwing her out there and putting her in matches for absolutely no reason. And it drives me nuts because she is extremely talented in the ring, great on the microphone. When she was, 5 Feet of Fury, the goddess, she was amazing. When she was with Bray Wyatt, she was really good. But now it's just, I don't know. Okay, Todd, your favorite managers of all time: Jimmy Hart, Paul Heyman, Paul Bearer, J.J. Dillon, Bobby the Brain. It's hard to argue against that list. I mean, that is an incredible list right there. I would say actually top of that list would be Bobby the Brain Heenan. He was the quintessential thinking man's manager. I mean, he earned the nickname the Weasel, but he was great. He was absolutely great. And then when he transitioned into commentary, him and Gorilla Monsoon, I absolutely loved them together. When he was on WCW Nitro, absolutely fantastic. He carried that team when it was early on, when it was Bischoff, Brain, and Steve McMichael. Bobby Heenan carried that. I was also a fan of J.J. Dillon, too, because within the Four Horsemen, he was basically the straightforward business manager of the Four Horsemen. There was no flash. There was nothing else with him. He just came out there and spoke it. He was a more toned down version of the current Paul Heyman. And obviously, Paul Heyman, going back to his days at the Dangerous Alliance in WCW. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up on YouTube. Okay? Paul Heyman was amazing in WCW as the leader. Yeah, him and Jim Cornette, they had an amazing feud. An absolutely amazing feud. And honestly, you got to throw Jim Cornette in there as well. Jim Cornette as a manager, not Jim Cornette now the podcaster. The guy, he's in that pantheon with Vince Russo that just, it's time for you to go away. It's time for you to put the microphone and the keyboard down and step away and just shut up. Yeah, JJ Dillon was incredible. He really was. No, I am not going to SummerSlam. I wish I could. I will be watching it. I have not been to a WWE show in, wow, I can't even remember the last WWE show I went to. It's been a long time. If Brian jumps in here, he might remember because him and I went to it. I don't remember which one it was. Yeah, Jim Cornette was hilarious with the tennis racket and always talking about his mom. Hey, that is great. I'm glad that you're able to go. I've talked about this before. Actually, I think we talked about it last night. Is everybody should be able to go to wrestling shows if they're able to. If it comes to your city, you should be able to go. And it shouldn't come down to money or anything else. You should be able to go. And if it's not a big show, independent shows as well. Everybody should be able to, if you're a wrestling fan, you should be able to go to wrestling shows. And Dynamite was the first live wrestling show I had been to in, good grief, 2.5 years. Yeah, I want to say it was 2.5 years. Well, it's cool that you went to Raw back on May 23rd. I like that. I know WWE is going to be coming back to Wisconsin soon. I have to take a look and see. They're not going to be in Milwaukee. They're going to be in Madison. Hopefully AEW will come back to Milwaukee in 2023. Definitely want to go to that again. I have to agree with you, King Benny. AEW is better right now. Top to bottom, I think there's still some things that are good about WWE. Pat McAfee's promo last night, I couldn't stand the dude in NXT. But ever since coming up to SmackDown, I love him on commentary. And man, that promo he cut last night was fantastic. I can't wait to see. I'm actually looking forward to the match between Pat McAfee and Happy Corbin. I cannot believe I actually just said that, but I think, those guys have known each other for a long time. They were both on the Indianapolis Colts together. And Corbin, say what you will about him, say what you will about his characters, the dude is an amazing athlete. He is just incredible in the ring. And him and McAfee they're going to be just amazing together. I think that's the sleeper match of the night right there, is Corbin and McAfee. That's going to be the one that people are going to look at and like, man, that was a really freaking good match. Even though it's probably going to be buried. Well, I wonder how they're going to do that, because obviously McAfee's not going to be on commentary. That's going to kind of stink not having him on commentary at all for SummerSlam. Because obviously if he's wrestling, he's not going to be on commentary. Todd, you and I must be about the same age. If you're talking about Lawler, Dundee, Yamamoto. Oh, don't get me started on Austin Idol. I cannot stand him in NWA right now. I was watching NWA Power, and this week's show was one of the best ones they've put on in a while. They they've got the race for the chase, to determine who's going to be the contender for Trevor Murdoch's NWA championship, and they had some really good qualifying matches. But my favorite match of this week on NWA Power was Kylan King and Allison Kay. Those two ladies they were incredible in the ring together. Kylan King, I'm very happy for her. I mean, AEW utilized her pretty well and really helped give her a name using her on Dark and Dark Elevation, but they really weren't going to give her a push. She comes over to NWA and she's immediately challenging for the NWA Women's Championship. And like I said, her and Allison Kay had a fantastic match. Allison Kay is one of those really underrated women in professional wrestling. If you haven't seen her wrestle before, I encourage you, whether it's Allison Kay or Sienna, whichever name she's going under, you've got to go check her out. She does an incredible job in the ring. Austin Idol hits your aunt in the stomach with a chair in 89. Oh my goodness. I can see that. The guy he is just a douche. I'm sorry. Lucas, okay, I wasn't going to bring it up tonight, but okay. So I've got some new viewers on TikTok here. But for the folks that have been here, I have been working. I've got a friend in Georgia that really wants to go to Dynamite on Wednesday night in Duluth, Georgia. But because of some financial difficulties, she can't go. And I was blessed, last month, month and a half ago now, my goodness, when Dynamite was in Milwaukee, that I had a friend that gave me tickets to go. Gave me and Jonah tickets to be able to go. Wouldn't have been able to go otherwise. So I wanted to do something nice for my friend because she is always encouraging people, just trying to be as positive as possible, even though she's got some difficulties going on in her life. So I started a Cash App campaign to get money just to be able to buy tickets for her. She doesn't live that far from the show, so getting there is not a problem. Unfortunately, it has been very slow going. We are at $45 right now. The goal was $100 to be able to get 2 tickets plus the fees and pay for a $10 parking pass. Essentially, I'm giving it until the end of the day tomorrow. I'm giving it until the end of the day tomorrow because I have not reached out to her about this. And obviously I want to, if we're able to come up with the money, I want to be able to give her time to plan for this. So, I haven't posted anything about this on Twitter because she would see it there. Unfortunately, she doesn't watch my streams, which is okay. So I'm going to throw it up one more time. And again, I'm only bringing it up tonight because Lucas asked the question. I actually wasn't going to bring it up again. So on Facebook Live, on Twitch, and on YouTube, you are seeing my Cash App on the screen right now. On TikTok, I am actually going to put it in the comments here in a second. Give me a second here. If you would like to help out, all I'm asking is for $1. $1 from everybody that is watching. And don't feel any pressure. I mean, if you can't, you don't have to explain it. You definitely do not have to explain it to me. I know things are difficult for everybody right now. I would love to be in a position to be able to just say, hey, I'm going to pay for tickets for her. But I can't. Not in a position to be able to do that. That's why I'm out asking people. But yeah, we're at $45 right now. Need to ideally get to 90. 100 would be great. So I figure there's got to be enough people. And again, if you can't help, don't worry about it. there will be other opportunities again down the road. And as I stated before, and I'm going to stop talking about it after this, 100% of the money, any money that comes in, is going directly to either purchase the tickets or to give to her to buy her own tickets, whatever works out easiest for her. If, by some amazing, something amazing happens and we exceed our goal, I will put any extra money on the side and we will save it. And the next time something comes up, if somebody reaches out and says, hey, I'd really like to go to this show, but I'm having a hard time, we'll put that money towards tickets for somebody else. Obviously, we can't do it for everybody. We can't do it for every show. It's just not possible. And again, this is kind of a personal one for me. So last time, again, if you can help out, great. If not, again, no worries. Absolutely no worries. I just thought we could try doing something nice for someone. Lucas, again, thank you very much for bringing it up and asking the question. I appreciate it. King Benny, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, USWA, I watched a little bit of that back in the late 80s, early 90s. That's where I got introduced to a lot of different people. It was great, before the internet, when, ESPN was how I learned about a lot of this different wrestling, because back then, we didn't have the internet. We had magazines like Pro Wrestling Illustrated. There was a couple of them. The Wrestler. What else was there? There was a couple of magazines that I would always pick up, Pro Wrestling Illustrated, and there was a couple of other ones that were out there that I would browse at. I would look at the local bookstore, but Pro Wrestling Illustrated was always the one I would pick up every month, and that's where I learned about a lot of different wrestlers and a lot of different companies. We have the internet now. We have YouTube. We have streaming channels, so it's all changed. It's all changed now. Oh, Michael, yes. AWA, World Class Championship Wrestling, Global Wrestling Federation, all of that. Though when AWA was on ESPN, that's when they started doing stuff out of Showboat in Las Vegas, and it was getting into the waning days of AWA where it just wasn't that good. But I was excited when they started doing World Class Championship Wrestling out of Dallas, with the Freebirds, the Von Erichs, Gino Hernandez, Gentleman Chris Adams, Iceman King Parsons. Getting introduced to talent like that was incredible. It really was. It was really that and old NWA on WTBS. That was life-changing for me when it came to professional wrestling, because growing up, when I was younger, my first and only introduction to wrestling for really the first 7 or 8 years I was watching was old AWA. And then 83, 84, I got introduced to WWF. And then it was either 85 or 86, I got introduced to the NWA. And, that changed my view on wrestling. And that's what really sparked my love for professional wrestling. And here I am 35, 37 years later, still watching it and running a YouTube channel, doing streams, talking about it after all this time. Yep. Some kids just never grow up, do they? Yeah. All right. Well, Oh, the Koloffs, and yeah, Nikita Koloff, man. When he was a heel, he was great as a heel, and then after Magnum TA's horrific accident, when he became a babyface, Dusty Rhodes, the the Midnight Express, um, Barry Windham, the Four Horsemen, just so many that you could talk about. Just an incredible amount that you can talk about. Um, I'm actually going through right now, and just out of the blue, I decided to start uh, Gary Hart. Oh yeah, that's another manager right there, Gary Hart. The fact that he never really made it big in either the NWA or WWF was just a travesty. Yep, the Rock and Roll Express, um, the Fantastics. I loved the Fantastics. Um, yeah, just so many incredible. Tommy Wildfire Rich. Before they, turned him into, what did he turn into? Was it Thomas Rich? When they gave him kind of the snooty rich guy character, that was terrible. That was terrible. Oh, but anyways, I mentioned this the other day. I've started on Peacock watching WCW Nitro from the very first episode, and up to episode 7 now, where it went into Halloween Havoc 1995, and that horrible. I haven't gotten to the match yet. The debut of the Yeti, and then the Kelvin Sullivan, the Taskmaster, his master. That was awful. And then the monster truck battle on the top of on top of the arena in Detroit. Dr. Tom Pritchard. Yeah. Yeah, it's back when wrestlers were real, man. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's still some out there right now. Let me tell you. John Moxley. Holy crap! Him, Cesaro. Nick Aldis. There's a lot of them out there still. Silas Young. Definitely Silas Young, the last real man. Milwaukee's own Silas Young. Tommaso Ciampa, you could throw him into that grouping too, before his horrific partnership with the Miz. Dr. Death Steve Williams. Yes, definitely. But yeah, on Monday, Noah and I are going to finish watching Halloween Havoc 1995. And then we're going to continue. That's what I'm going to do. We're going to continue on watching Nitro, and then watch the pay-per-views too as things progress. I mean, it's funny to think October 95, you're 8 months away from Hogan turning heel and the launch of the New World Order. Now, you just look at the product, and looking back at it now, I had mentioned this the other night. There were already teases kind of there, thanks to Kevin Sullivan, that Hulk Hogan could turn heel. We saw it. And then everything that led to, Sting becoming the Crow character, that was going on at this time too, with issues he was having with Randy Savage and Lex Luger. So, there was amazingly Eric Bischoff actually did have some long-term storytelling going on. And it's hindsight being 2020 now, taking a look back at it. You didn't notice it back then, but now it's easy to see what's going on. Of course you miss Matt Cardona, Lucas. That's just the kind of guy you are. The missing link. Oh, man. He actually had a short stint in the WWF, missing link. I think he was there for like 2 months. And they didn't know what the heck to do with him. So, all right, I'm going to get going, everybody. Wow, this ended up being a longer stream than I thought, but when we start throwing out old school wrestling names, it's kind of hard not to. That was fun. That was absolutely fun. Oh, but before I forget, we got to do it. We got to do it. I can't go 2 nights in a row of skipping it. We have to do the Iron Sheik tweet of the day. All right, let's see. Wow. Okay, well, here's one from yesterday. So this will be the yesterday one. He's got a million of them. They're all. I could sit here for an hour doing Iron Sheik tweets of the day, but we'll do this one first. You can't hurry, love. You just have to wait, you dumb son of a bitch. Yes. Absolutely love it. All right, and let's see. We got to do one more. We'll do one more here. You get bonus Iron Sheik tweet of the day. Let's see. Oh, wait, I saw one here. Oh, yeah. It's not the language that I approve of, but you can't help but laugh. Here we go. Baby, where did our love go? F yourself. Those were your Iron Sheik tweets of the day. Oh, wait, no. Oh, yeah, I'll like that one. Oh, you know what? I forgot to share these. Hold on, let me do this. All right, there we go. We have officially named that the Iron Sheik tweet of the day. And one of these days, hopefully I will get a response from him on one of these. That would be absolutely cool. I mean, I had Natty actually send me a couple of DMs, followed me and sent me a couple of DMs over the last day or two, which is awesome. But all right, Michael, you too. Again, this week, I have not done a WrestleScope weekly in a couple of weeks, and probably not going to do one tomorrow either. Trying to look at things and reformat things moving forward. I do want to bring it back, but I think I want to change the formatting of it. So, going to work on that. So thank you very much for all the likes on TikTok. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you to everybody for tuning in tonight. You guys are awesome. You guys are absolutely awesome. I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking time out of your lives to watch me in my messy studio here as we talk wrestling and have some fun. We will have the Wrestle Booze podcast on Monday night. I can guarantee you that if you're new to the channel, we're going to talk wrestling. I'm going to attempt to save you from 3 hours of horrific Raw as we talk wrestling and we talk booze. And we may do a little drinking. Well, actually, we have to watch the drinking on TikTok. We can't do so much of it. But on YouTube and Twitch, we can pretty much do what we want. So that will be Monday night. I will get that scheduled. So have a great night, everybody. Oh, you know what we should do on Monday night? I think we're going to have to crack open the, if I can get my hands on some, we're going to have to crack open some 5 Trail blended American whiskey with the stuff that I got from Shaker and Spoon. So we'll have to do that. All right. Have a great night, everybody. I will see you tomorrow for day 138. Man, we're closing in on 150. It seems like just yesterday we were getting to 100, and now we're closing in on 150. Pappy Van Winkle. Don't know who that is. All right. Have a good night, everybody. We will talk to you tomorrow.